the Heritage Foundation, who did Project 2025, just recommended a plan where they would take single people and send them to a camp, and you have to find your partner. And I don't actually mean partner, because of course it can only be straight marriage, so you have to find your husband or your wife, and the only way out of the camp is through marriage. And like, you're telling me that they looked at the state of dating. I am actively dating men, okay? I know how bad it is. And they said, you know how we can get women to get married? Let's stick them in a camp and tell them they can't leave unless they walk out married to a man. Or men could just be good partners? I don't know. Like, they're doing everything but sending men to therapy. Like, you think I'm gonna roll up to a camp? Good luck trying to get me.
Wait. They're trying to send unmarried people to a camp, to a boot camp. But this is the thing. This is the kicker. They're sending American women. And you already know the American women that they're talking about. They're not talking about us.
I understand that violence may not be the answer, but it is certainly an answer. Because what do you mean you're going to try to put unmarried women in a camp? And you're going to start trying to charge $17,000 to women who have not had a child by the age of 30. Have you run out of babies and children to eat? Are the pigs, the cows, the chickens, are they not enough? Because this is not the TV show The Handmaid's Tale. We will shoot you. I personally didn't think that I should have a gun. Between my ADHD, my bipolar disorder, my manic episodes, I didn't think I should be the one to have a gun. But apparently, I need one. Because this current administration that is running this country into the pits of hell have decided to use Handmaid's Tale as their transcript. Because run up on me in the middle of a manic episode, on my period, hungry, and without a blunt, I will shoot you. Because what the fuck you mean you gonna put somebody in a goddamn camp because they not married? Fuck you. Fuck this administration. Fuck all y'all.
I ain't gonna lie, this whole thing sounds like a reality TV show, to be honest. So I know by now you're gonna even hear that a lot on this video. I know you've heard that, so let's just skip that part, okay? And as you can imagine, this actually lit the internet on fire because everybody has an opinion. Just like with everything, there's always those who are on the side of something and those who are against it. I'm not gonna claim that I have seen, people who we're for it, okay? So, but I'm sure they exist. They're somewhere, but not just on my FYP. Well, on my own side, many people feel it's unrealistic, invasive, and borderline disrespectful. Marriage isn't supposed to be like a group assignment for people. These are adults. People that are single for many reasons. I mean, it could be finances, trauma, career focus, caregiving responsibilities, or just simply people who simply do not really want to be married, okay? Like, that's just a reality. That's something. And all of that should be treated like it's a problem. Oh, let's just try to fix that, And the whole point of it is actually trying to reproduce and have more population to, do some work. And, everything that I see actually today in modern days are actually not different from the past. Everything just seems like a recreation of what was done in the past. I mean, like, people might act surprised, but I feel like if you actually go listen to history, all you will see is a display of the same thing over and over. And you can use fashion as an example. Something will go away, become a trend later years from now, and it's supposed to be modern, but it was something that existed before. So it's just, a rebranding of things. So I mean, if it clicks, it clicks. But before we get right into this video and check it out, please make sure you click the like button. It helps with the algorithm, and I appreciate that so much. Let's get right into this video.
The Heritage Foundation, the creators of Project 2025 and Project Esther, are creating a $280 billion initiative to send unmarried people to government-sponsored marriage camps. The organization quite literally says successful completion of the program would mean couples are ready to walk down the aisle by the end of the boot camp. This is all a part of their Saving America by Saving the Family campaign. But, this is ridiculous. They also want to find people who aren't married and don't have children by the age of 30. I believe it was $20,000 that you would be fined if you didn't have a kid by the age of 30. They also want to get rid of no-fault divorce, birth controls in general, so IUDs, things like so. Like, they also caution against IVF because they don't want the idea that embryos can be destroyed. Every day, bro, it's something new. It's like,
Republicans want to charge you $17,000 if you don't get married and have a child by the time you're 30. I kid you not. Russell Vogt, Trump's head of the OMB, and his Heritage Foundation are proposing $17,000 in additional taxes if you don't get married and have a child. The Heritage Foundation spent 160 pages telling us that if women get an education, they're less likely to pop out kids. Yeah, I could have told them that. They say we can't legally ban women from getting an education, so we'll just make it economically more difficult. It says that since women get paid less anyway, it's probably a good idea for them to just skip higher education and a career and have babies right out of high school with men who are a lot older than them. They want to eliminate student loans because women carry most of that debt, and they want to give you a tax penalty if you marry too late. And then you'll get a bonus for every additional child you produce for the state. And as a reminder, if you have a miscarriage, they'll deny you the care that you need to protect your health and your fertility. And they'll make sure that you don't have time off from work and you don't have any support and you're just completely on your own. This is their solution to make us have more babies. Good luck with that.
The unmarried camps that they are building are not for Black and brown people. They were going to be for white people. Minority camps are going to be different because they don't want any more of our babies in that capacity. They will breed us for labor as in the past, but these camps and these married camps that they want are to breed more white babies. And if you're white and you think that's you, check your hierarchy of whiteness, because if you don't fit their description, you're not in their camps for that either. So that means you'll be with us.
We might not be able to accept my hypothesis that I'll whoop your fucking ass. Oh, but like, I kind of want them to put me in one of them camps for unmarried women. I got a lot of pent up aggression that I'm trying to test out on somebody that's not a normal civilian. Let me run multiple trials against my unmarried woman camp overlord. Multiple trials, controlled environment will change the variable of how I whoop that fucking ass every single time. And I'm a woman in STEM, so I'm going to use the scientific method. We might not be able to accept my hypothesis that I'll whoop your fucking ass, but we'll fail to reject it. That's for damn sure. Let me whoop some ass. Let me whoop some ass in a controlled environment. I'm itching.
So, breaking news, right? They're trying to send women to so-called camps to engage them to the partner that they pick out for them. My goal is to unalive at least 100 men or more, or the whole team. So I would say, for your safety, do not, I repeat, do not send me there. I know how to get out of handcuffs. I know how to get out of duct tape. I know how to get out of rope. And I just love the idea of this because finally I can release my rage. Like, I'm so not playing. I'm so serious. I am there to seduce and destroy. I will get you while you're sleeping. I will get you while you guys are in the middle of switching shifts. And you know, the only thing that puts me to sleep at night is documentaries of how women, their husbands. So play with me if you want to.
Here with you, if they try to do this concentration camp for unmarried women and think that that's going to force people to get married, I am a non-denominationally ordained minister. Find your best girlfriend. Find the girl that you click with and can just have a lot of fun with. I'll marry you both. If push comes to shove, marry a homie. Have the most lavender life you could ever have. But the fact that it's even in conversation enrages me to points that usually causes tear and just fire and brimstone to come out of my eyes and my ears. I keep posting in the story things that I've known for over 15 years, and people called me a liar for the last 15 years. And now it's all proof. And everybody's pretending like I never said anything in the first place. I'll warn you again. This ain't a fucking joke. They really want to take every married woman, put them in a transition camp. Can't even say it right anymore. Plus, I'm concerned how many times they say that on here will cause a problem. So that you'll be forced to marry and produce children. Lavender will be the way to go. And I will have no problem signing the paperwork for your marriage. Whoever needs a lavender, let me know. I will be happy to officiate your wedding. But what I ain't gonna do is allow that to continue. So if you didn't hear about it, you don't think it's real, knock it the fuck off, wake the fuck up, let's go. You should be furious. We all should be furious. First, they took away any rights of our biological system. How dare we have any rights or decisions making in our own bodies? How dare us? But now they want to do a concentration camp for unmarried women to force them into marriages and force births. On an overpopulated planet that we already are having a problem with. Like I said, non-denominationally ordained minister since 2016. If you need to be married, hello.
I ain't never really just freaked out about nothing before, but what in the actual fuck do you mean? Unmarried people gotta go to a camp and be re-educated. Re-educated on what exactly? Just what in the whole fuck do I need to be re-educated on? What the hell you mean re-educate? And then say I got to get married at the end of this thing? I don't take kindly to having my life threatened. Alright? What the hell you mean I gotta go to a camp? Bitch, that's too close to going to jail. Okay? And on your bottom wrinkled ripped dollar hoe, if you think I'm finna go anywhere near a camp, I'ma give you a reason to haul me off somewhere. Fuck you mean you finna make me marry somebody? You gonna make me marry somebody? And you gonna make me marry a man? I gotta marry a man. If I gotta marry a man, it's gonna be one hell of a life insurance policy put on him the same day. So you just gonna take away my freedom, huh? Just fuck my livelihood, huh? Fuck you mean you gonna make me get married? I tried. I love to see you try. Come around here and think you finna haul me off to a goddamn camp. Try.
They're really trying to send us off to marriage boot camps so that we can raise America's birth rate. What in the Handmaid's Tale? They're proposing to spend a couple $2 billion to make these marriage boot camps, right? So their goal is to send unmarried women. So even if you're engaged, if you're not fully married, like with paperwork and stuff, they're going to send you to a marriage boot camp in hopes of you finding the right guy and that you guys can procreate and get married to raise the birth rate. Wait, what in the forest? Because at the end of the day, right, what if women don't want to get married? What if they don't want to have kids? What happens to the women that are gay? What are you going to do with them? You're going to force them to get with a guy? Okay. Bro. I don't know what to say. Like, wow.
Government-run marriage camps. Okay, so that's not what's happening. I decided to put my little lawyer cap on and read through that entire report. And mind you, I am a Heritage Foundation hater at my core. That report is deeply insidious, but it's not this like white feminist Handmaid's Tale sending unmarried women to camps sort of situation. So the described program in the report is only a small portion of a long, multifaceted, detailed plan for effectively penalizing single parents and raising up financially and socially church-going, married couples with many children. And the part about these boot camps, here's the thing, as a lawyer, I can tell you, this doesn't read like a Handmaid's Tale, re-education camp, hashtag white feminism. It's like a It reads like an anti-recidivism program. So if you've ever been in the criminal justice system or like worked within it, some courts have anti-recidivism programs or alternatives to, you know, losing custody of one's children or alternatives to jail time. And this reads exactly like that. So you know what they're going to do? They're going to try to push these programs, these boot camps, through nonprofits onto people, single parents, likely Black and brown single parents, because who is targeted by our justice system, into these sorts of programs. And I think this is important to call out because this report is deeply insidious. It will, if these policies come into play, not just this one, but the plethora of policies suggested, such as trying to change nationwide child custody laws so that custody would go to the non-disruptive parent. What do you think that means? And completely dismantling any sort of social welfare program in this country, among many other policies brought forward in the report. And so this is all to say, effectively, these policies are deeply dangerous, but the fear-mongering of women and married people are going to be sent to camps, like that just is not the case. And we need to be honest with ourselves about who is actually at risk from these sorts of programs. And it's not wealthy white women, and it's not wealthy or middle-class unmarried people. It's people in poverty, and it's primarily Black and brown people.
The creators of Project 2025 and Project Esther have just launched a $280 billion initiative to send unmarried people to government-sponsored marriage boot camps. In a 172-page long report that blames the declining marriage rate on civil rights era laws, compares unmarried people to those on hospice care, and calls on President Trump to sign a series of executive orders requiring every action taken by the federal government to explicitly measure how it harms or helps marriages and families, the Heritage Foundation proposes marriage boot camps to be held at local churches, to where successful completion of the program would mean that couples are ready to walk down the aisle. Before the Trump supporters come and attack me in the comments saying that Trump is not the Heritage Foundation, over 70% of Trump's current administration either worked for the Heritage Foundation in the past, currently writes for them, or directly helped in the writing of Project 2025 and Project Esther. This report also plans on getting rid of no-fault divorce, blames abortions on the mother, and should not be allowed to be official policy in any administration. The United States is a place where you can get married or not. It's not a place where the federal government decides what you do with your personal time. And if you don't want this to be a reality, you know what to do.
As someone that owns a firearm, if somebody tries to take me because I'm unmarried to take me to a camp, I will be using that firearm on the people that take me, and then I will be taking myself after. I will be dying with my dignity. Point blank, period. That's how serious I am about this shit. I will die unmarried. I will die with no children, even if it means that I have to do it by wiping myself off of the planet. If you are not that serious with the decisions that you're making with your mind, with your brain, with your womb, you are not in it. You are not in it for real. You should be willing to risk your own life. You should be willing to make sure that they can never use you as consumption. If every woman offed herself right now, if every single woman offed herself right now, this world would fucking end. This world would fucking collapse. There would be no reason for these men to live. Capitalism would cease to exist. Religion cease to exist. Racism, ableism, ageism, all the isms you could think of would cease to exist. This is the reason why none of this stuff fears me. None of this stuff makes me scared, because I already know I'll take a few out and then take myself out after. Like what? Absolutely not. Absolutely the fuck not. Your first plan of action with anything is to be willing to go out with a bang. You should always be willing to go out with a bang and put your life on the line, because they sure as fuck don't care about yours. You think that they're going to be dragging unmarried people to a camp to teach them the morals and the values of marriage. No, they're going to drag women to camps and R-word women and force you into labor, into pregnancy, so that way capitalism can keep going. They're going to have a camp where they're going to drug you, and they're going to have men inseminate you over and over and over and over and over. And it's really just going to be a breeding camp for women. My life, the quality of my life is worth it to the point where I will never forego the quality of my life just to say that I'm still living, having to endure that. That's the energy that you need to come with. Once you have that energy, once you channel that energy and you're okay with that being the outcome, none of this shit scares you because you don't care. Because you'll die knowing that, haha, you didn't get a chance to use me. You didn't get a chance to allow my genes to get passed along. Nope. I contributed to further starving this bitch out.
Bitch, you try to send me to one of them camps because I'm not married. I'm taking at least 3 to 5 of y'all with me. Hopefully 10. Because I don't care. You ain't taking me to no camp. I seen The Handmaid's Tale. Think you can do it here? You're going to have to take me out. And it is what it is. So, fuck you. Like, I really want to see you try to do that with all the women in the United States. A lot of y'all are not going to be here. Some of us ain't going to be here, but a lot of y'all, we going to take some of y'all with us. I'm so serious. Stop fucking with us and leave us alone.
Single ladies, it may be time to pack your bags. They're trying to send you to a singles boot camp. The organization that will remain unnamed is currently petitioning the White House for a new initiative called Saving America by Saving the Family. Successful completion of the program would mean that couples are ready to walk down the aisle at a communal wedding by the end of the boot camp. The bride and groom would also be matched with a mentor couple to help them to navigate the highs and lows of early marriage. And don't forget to mention cold hard cash. They're offering couples $5,000 if they stay together. They're basically saying women are too picky, we'll just pick somebody for you. This is their solution to the male loneliness epidemic, just mandated by law. Instead of encouraging men to make themselves better catches for the woman that they want by increasing their earning potential, getting an education, being emotionally intelligent, not weaponizing their incompetence, being thoughtful, being kind, going to therapy, healing their past trauma. Instead of bettering the quality of the men in the dating pool, they're just gonna shrink it. I know you've tried it all. Bumble, Hinge, Tinder, Plenty of Fish. You tried meeting men in the wild. Girl, forget all that. Let the government find you a mate. Because everybody knows they care about your well-being, am I right? They're in your womb, they're in the classroom, they're in your bedroom, and now they want to be in your marriage. Nothing says freedom like the government wanting to pick your life partner and the father of your children. They don't care about the quality of the marriage, they just care that you are married to a man that could hopefully keep you in line. They can't have these women out here thinking they can be whatever they want to be. We almost had a female president.
If you're single in the United States, they're going to send you to a camp. The Heritage Foundation is pushing a plan called Saving America by Saving the Family, where they want to send unmarried people to camps. It would cost an estimated $280 billion. I have a better idea. Why don't we instead send the people in the Heritage Foundation to a camp? A key part of their plan is to set up what they call marriage boot camps. Unmarried, totally not forced couples would go through these camps. The goal, according to their document, is for couples to finish the program ready for a group wedding ceremony at the end. It's every bride's dream. A forced communal wedding. Couples who complete the camp and get married would also get a cash bonus of $5,000, paid for by private donors. There's going to be a lot of conservatives marrying their own cousins in that program, isn't there? A Heritage Foundation official called it a modest investment with a big payoff. They have money for programs like this, but nothing for healthcare or education. They really know how to address the root of the problems in America now, don't they?
You've seen it. I've researched it. Time to talk about it. Sorry about the face mask. I literally had like about a minute and a half left of that, and so I just decided I need to get the content out there, otherwise I'll forget to make the video. But we've all heard about it. The Heritage Foundation marriage camps. And while it's still technically not official yet or legal, they are working diligently to bring this to life and make it a reality for every woman in America. Yes, that includes you white ladies and the white ladies that are married to the rich old white guys that are all safe and don't have to worry about it. You might be better off, but if he dies, Yes, it is The Handmaid's Tale. Yes, they do want to take your rights. They don't care if you're LGBTQ. They don't care if you're trans. They don't care what you are. If you were born a female, if you have in any capacity to carry children, especially that, they 100% want you in these camps. That's great for the incels. Only incels like and support that. And anyone who doesn't have a heart. But yeah.
The real question is actually not the fact that why aren't people married, it's why has life become so hard that many people don't even feel stable enough to consider marriage in this economy and in the way everything just doesn't seem right. Like, when you think about this whole thing, it's actually very insane, because are we talking about humans here, or it sounded like, I don't know, it sounded like, you know, people, you sounded like animals that you put in a zoo, because people are struggling with rent, childcare, trauma, mental health, but somehow the solution is to go to a camp and find a spouse. Okay, these are the things that is being proposed. This is what it's okay to propose. Let's even talk about the bonus, because that money is disrespectful. So now people are incentivized to rush into marriage just to get money, just to get some $5,000. We already know how that ends: divorce, resentment, or someone just trying to get a quick money. But like, even the money it's just so little. If you want to even say, oh, you know, we're gonna give you a bonus for being married, hoo-hoo. If the government really cared about marriage, they will focus on affordability and stability, not speed dating with consequences. And the truth is, honestly, if they do provide like universal free childcare, many people will even reproduce for them. Be it you earn a lot, you still get to have like free childcare. Many people will still continue producing, like they'll keep having more kids. But you all should let me know what you think about this video. You've made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching this video to the very end. I really appreciate you. Please make sure you click the like button. It helps with the algorithm, and I appreciate that so much. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time. Hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.